Can't believe it's Wednesday already. We're rallying into the end of July. Hi, I'm Phil with IntelliFran, and we're going to talk about what to do in your physician's practice, chiropractic clinic, or weight loss center to help drive weight loss sales. A lot of calls and messages and inquiries yesterday after the powertrain and after Monday and Tuesday's notes in the morning about how to close more weight loss sales. And the interesting thing was a lot of ownership was saying, hey, do you have any help wanted ads? Do you have any ideas for recruitment? Like, why do you want to add staff? No, I'm looking at replacing some people. Why is that? Well, they're not hitting their sales targets. All right, what are their goals? And it turns out they didn't have any sales goals. So I don't know how you can miss something you don't have. So let me give you the simplest tool you can possibly use in your center, and it doesn't matter who is in your weight loss offering. This number applies to them, whether they're selling or they're the receptionist or they're doing injections or they're doing treatment tables, laser lipo, or again, they're doing all the selling. It doesn't matter. This number applies to everyone. It's a production per payroll hour number. So let me give you the simplest way to calculate this. Whatever I'm doing, the magic sweet spot for just the weight loss side of the equation is 8 to 10 times whatever someone's being paid. So you want to be somewhere on an average, somewhere in the neighborhood of about $100, $120 an hour in terms of production. So if I worked for an hour and I got paid $10 an hour, I should have generated about $100 in sales. If I am here for, if I'm getting $12 an hour, I should generate $120 per hour if I'm selling. So if I'm there for 8 hours and I got my base pay, I'm not counting any commissions, bonuses, incentives, anything like that. If I worked 8 hours, then I should have generated somewhere between $800 and $1,000 worth of revenue for the time that I worked. So you can start to do the math real quick. So if someone's working 40 hours a week for you, then that's $4,000 to $5,000 a week they ought to be generating in revenue, or about $20,000 a month once you extrapolate it out to 4.3 weeks in the average month. So for every employee on the team, for every 40 hours worked, there should be about $20,000 in revenue. Now, that can be all programs. It can be a mix of programs and product. It doesn't matter. Now, what do you do when not everyone is selling a weight loss program? I know for a lot of you, the ownership does all the selling. In the case for a lot of chiropractors, he or she does all the selling. So that same number applies to the staff universally. So you need to figure out, okay, what were the total hours we had working today? If you had, in the course of 1 hour, 4 people on staff, and let's say the aggregate is $10 an hour, then that's $40. We gotta generate $400 to $500 an hour in business to pay for all these 4 people that are on staff, even though they're not revenue generating. So you need to figure out what your production per payroll hour number is, and work from that at all times. Now, if you're a multi-unit operator, or you're an area manager, or even if it's just 2 centers, or I think our largest one has 12 centers that they manage. That same number holds true. I mean, if you need a reporting number at the end of every day, if nothing else, get that number, because everything else is irrelevant. If they've achieved the number they need to hit, then all your other metrics are probably in place. Now you can dig a little deeper if you need to see, did we miss some sales opportunities? Now, keep something in mind. That 8 to 10 times payroll is strictly for weight loss. So if you're adding chiropractic into the equation, you got to figure out what that is, because now you got all kinds of other equipment and issues and advertising and the like that apply to that. But you need to figure that out. If you're a physician and you've added this to your practice, have you separated this out as a separate and distinct business, or are you sharing staff with your practice? Same thing for chiropractic. For those of you that have a med spa, you got to ask yourself the same thing. Are we sharing staff between services? So focus on the production per payroll hour number, give your staff goals, give them some ideas to what they should be hitting. And if they're not in a sales environment, I would still let them know what the number is. We got to move towards it. There's something they're doing that influences all this. If I'm the receptionist, my job is to smile on the phone when people call, be friendly, enthusiastic, and energetic, to maintain a good show rate if I'm the one scheduling appointments. If I am one doing treatment, same thing. I need to be doing an excellent job with treatment so people want to ultimately refer people, which is what really keeps that profitability, or keeps the expenses down, the profitability up, because half of your business ought to be coming from referrals. If you want to tear this down and really examine this for your location, you may want to have a conversation with us. We work with physicians, chiropractors, and weight loss franchise investors. We work with some of the largest brands in the country. Our company has shepherded over $900 million in weight loss sales over the last few decades. We've learned a few things along the way. We have a good bead on what current consumer behavior is like to be able to help you sell more weight loss programs, not only to John and Jane Q average that are looking into strictly weight loss, but also converting your chiropractic patients and converting some of your practice patients into the into your weight loss program, regardless of what kind of weight loss program you're doing, whether it's medically supervised, non-medically supervised, prescription-oriented, non-prescription oriented, a regular grocery store food-based program, or a prepared prepackaged food program, and anything in between or any combination of it. We deal with price points anywhere from a $400 or $500 weight loss program to a $4,000 weight loss program. There's really nothing you can encounter that we don't already have a good track record with. If you have any questions or would like to have a conversation with us, click us or call us. Find a way to get a hold of us. Thanks.